Single dad offered shelter to an 18-year-old girl. What happened next? It was already dark when the single dad noticed her sitting alone on the bus stop bench, hugging a thin backpack to her chest like it was the only thing keeping her together. Cars rushed past, cold wind cut through the street, and everyone else seemed to have somewhere to go. But she didn't. And somehow, in that one quiet moment, a simple choice would change both of their lives. He almost kept walking. Almost. But kindness has a way of tapping you on the shoulder when you least expect it, and asking, "What if you didn't turn away this time?" Before we begin, if you enjoy real stories that restore your faith in humanity, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Heartfelt Moments, where kindness always finds its way home. The man's name was Daniel. He was 39 years old, a construction supervisor by day and a full-time dad every other waking hour. His wife had passed away 3 years earlier after a sudden illness, leaving him to raise their 8-year-old son, Noah, on his own. Life hadn't been easy, but Daniel had learned how to keep going, packing lunches, checking homework, and making dinner stretch one more night. That evening, Daniel had just finished a late grocery run. As he loaded bags into his truck, he noticed the girl again. She hadn't moved. Her shoulders were tense, and her eyes kept scanning the street like she was afraid of being seen or forgotten. Daniel hesitated, then walked over, keeping his voice calm and respectful. "Hey," he said gently. "Are you okay?" She flinched at first, then looked up. Her eyes were red, not from crying now, but from crying earlier. I'm fine," she said quickly, the kind of answer people give when they're anything but. Daniel nodded. "Bus running late?" She swallowed. "No. I'm not waiting for one." That was when the truth started to spill out. Her name was Lily. She was 18. She had just aged out of a foster home situation that fell apart sooner than expected. A friend's couch had turned into a locked door. Her phone was nearly dead. And she had nowhere to sleep that night. Daniel felt his chest tighten. He thought of Noah at home, already in pajamas, probably building something out of blocks on the living room floor. He thought of the risks, the responsibility, the weight of making the right call. So he did the safest thing he could think of. "I can't leave you out here," he said. "But I also can't just make decisions like this alone. If you're okay with it, we can go to the police station or a shelter together. Or," he paused, "you can stay on our couch tonight. Door open. No pressure. Just somewhere warm. And in the morning, we figure out next steps." Lily stared at him, stunned. "You'd really do that?" Daniel nodded. "Only if you're comfortable. And only because I'd hope someone would do the same for my kid someday." Tears filled her eyes, and she nodded. At Daniel's small house, Noah looked up when they walked in. "Dad?" he asked. Daniel crouched beside him. "This is Lily. She's staying with us tonight. We're helping her out." Noah smiled without hesitation. "Okay. Do you want hot chocolate?" That was it. That tiny moment broke something open in Lily. She had spent years feeling like a burden, a problem to be passed around. And here was a child, offering warmth like it was the most natural thing in the world. That night, Lily slept on the couch with a blanket Daniel's wife had once folded neatly into the linen closet. She cried quietly into the pillow, not from fear this time, but from relief. The next morning, Daniel kept his word. He helped Lily charge her phone, made pancakes, and sat with her at the kitchen table to plan. They called a local youth support center. They looked into job programs, temporary housing, and college applications Lily had once dreamed about but never thought she'd reach. Daniel didn't rescue her. He didn't fix everything. What he did was stand beside her while she learned to stand on her own. Over the next few weeks, Lily stayed in a transitional housing program nearby. Daniel drove her to interviews when he could. Noah insisted on drawing her pictures for luck. Slowly, Lily's shoulders relaxed. Her smile came easier. Her voice got stronger. One afternoon, Lily showed up at Daniel's house holding an envelope. Inside was her acceptance letter to a community college, along with a part-time job offer at a local cafe. "I couldn't have done this without you," she said, tears streaming down her face. Daniel shook his head. "You did this. We just gave you a place to breathe." Years later, Lily would tell people that the night she almost disappeared was the night someone noticed her. Someone chose kindness over fear. Someone opened a door without asking for anything in return. And Daniel? He'd tell Noah that the strongest thing a person can do is help someone when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or uncertain, because that's when kindness matters most. Sometimes, changing a life doesn't take money or grand gestures. Sometimes it's a warm couch, an open heart, and the courage to say, "You don't have to face this alone." If this story touched you, let it remind you that kindness is never wasted. You never know who's sitting quietly at the edge of their breaking point, waiting for someone to notice. Be that someone. Spread kindness. And watch how it finds its way back to you.